Hey guys, Sam here, and welcome back to another episode of our Leeds United Career Mode series. Guys, we kick things off today with a game against Arsenal at the Emirates. And speaking of Arsenal, a lot of you voiced your opinion on the last episode where we did actually get a job offer from Arsenal. A job offer that I am declining, guys, and it was very good to hear your guys' input, but at the end of the day, I was never leaving Leeds United mid-season. We still have so much to do with them. We're actually not really in a good position. I don't feel like we're leaving Leeds United in a strong position right now, mainly domestically. In the Premier League, we are struggling, guys. We're not looking good. We've been at the bottom half of the table for a long time this season, and I just feel like I can't just leave Leeds United mid-season. Now, end of the season, I've said it a couple of times now, I am potentially looking to leave Leeds United and maybe go to a bit of a bigger team and make ourselves a manager that wins stuff, because at Leeds United it is a fantastic project, but to win something at Leeds United will take us a very long time, and honestly I'm looking for something a little bit more fresh, and I'm looking for silverware next season if I can't get any this season. And that's really my main goal now moving forward as a manager. I'm trying to play this as if I was a manager, and if I do have an opportunity to take over either Arsenal or Manchester City are the two that it looks like I could potentially get, then I would be interested in that for sure. So it has to be something that I have to put out there in the open, guys, and it could be our last season with Leeds. You never know. And I want to make sure that we're leaving off on a positive, and this is a great way to start off today's episode, and a great way to maybe turn a new page in this month. This month is absolutely stacked, guys. We have some massive games this month, and this was one of the most difficult, to be fair, because traveling to the Emirates is never easy. We have a decent record against Arsenal though, and we continue that here today as we go into the lead 2-1 away from home, and one of our better performances of the season, to be honest, which, as I've been saying, we've just not been putting in good performances. We've just looked stale at times. We've been losing a lot of games, drawing a lot of games that we were in the lead, and we just haven't looked good, to be honest. So it was really good to get this lead against Arsenal, and it ended up being the win, which was really good. A really even battle, and credit to Arsenal. They played really well, and honestly, they probably did deserve the point, but we just were that little bit better, and Sayes, with the man of the match, gets himself 3 points on the Billy Bremner Award table. As we head into the Champions League, a competition that we've actually been doing very well in contrast to the Premier League, it's been the complete opposite. We've actually been smashing it in the Champions League. We now face Real Madrid, who we actually beat at the Santiago Bernabeu, if you didn't watch. It was quite an affair to go to the Santiago Bernabeu. To actually be playing Real Madrid is just mind-blowing, really, that I'm in this position in Season 3 where we're playing Real Madrid. But they're definitely now looking to give us a taste of our own medicine, and I would say that, you know, they now know what we're about. There's no surprise factor now, and I feel like we're a little bit like Leicester in that case. I mean, there's no surprise factor now in the Premier League, and you can tell that teams have figured us out, and teams are working their way around us, and I feel like it's similar now against Real Madrid. They're a very good team, and they should have figured us out by now. So I was expecting a big challenge, but to host them at Elland Road is an absolute honour. And Danny Ings giving the home fans a show in the 67th minute as we were struggling to get anything against this Madrid team. It was one moment of brilliance, and it was one moment that Danny Ings needed that really turned this game around, and fantastic stuff from him to get us back into this game and give us a bit of life in this game, give us a bit of room, because Real Madrid were defending very well, and they were playing an exceptional game up until that point, and just minutes later they shut us completely down, where we were looking so upbeat, so in the mood. We were chasing really well off the kickoff, and they just punish us, absolutely punish us for overextending, and it's a fantastically well-worked goal. It's too easy, really, at the end of the day. Diego Costa backing into, I believe that's Pontus Jansson, and just lays it off for Toni Kroos, who's never missing from there. And Madrid go up 2-1 at Elland Road, which is never good to go down to Madrid, but we went down twice. Unfortunately, we could not recover it twice, and they give us the exact same defeat, I should say, that we beat them. 2-1. Of course, they're away. We beat them 2-1 away. So a bit of taste of our own medicine, you can say. Bit of a tough pill to swallow. But Madrid bouncing back like a really quality team that they are, because they're obviously trying to take top of the group. They're trying to qualify as well, and it looks like it'll be us two competing for those two places, with Marseille as the team that sort of now maybe has an opportunity to climb back in it, because of course we've traded points with Real Madrid. Spartak Moscow having a tough time of it. And Marseille is that wild card, and of course we play them last. So we have another game in the Champions League before them, which is against Spartak Moscow, with the 2 games remaining as we head into this next game against Liverpool. Another big game, Arsenal and Real Madrid, and now Liverpool. And in the 3rd minute, they go up 1-0 and start things off. Really, for them, that's the dream start at Elland Road, and we have been a bit susceptible to conceding goals in the first 10 minutes. It's actually something that I'm actually a little bit worried about. It's something that I'm concerned about. I'm not sure what I'm doing that's inviting teams to score within the first 10 minutes, but it is becoming way too regular that we are conceding within the first 10 minutes, and it's something that I'm hoping I can pull out of the game sooner rather than later, because it's very, very frustrating starting to play football on the back foot. I mean, really, it sucks. But we do bring it back in the game through Emre Çolak, who did fantastically. It does get a bit lucky there, it does bounce to him, but you'll notice that nothing really happened between the 3rd minute and the 70th minute, where we get back into the game. And that's why I don't like conceding early, because we just go on the back foot. Same thing happened against Real Madrid, where we conceded in the 11th minute and then we scored in the 67th minute. It's an exact same replica of what's happening here against Liverpool, where we bring it back and they go 2-1 up in the 86th minute. And unfortunately, again, it's just one of those things where we're going down too often. We're not able to put a bit of pressure on Liverpool and make them work harder. It's us who have to work harder. It's us that has to overextend. And unfortunately, that is hurting us. Mane makes absolutely no mistake from such an easy range and makes it 2-1 to Liverpool to put him in a very good position to pick up 3 points away at Elland Road for them. But we did have one last attack, and it's Connor Chaplin now doing everything he can to potentially give us a point in this game. It's Emre Çolak, a fantastic finish, cool, calm, collected, the 3 C's there for Emre Çolak, and he puts it back at 2-2. And we can get a point out of this game. It's not, I mean, it's not a bad result at all if you think about it. In the position that we're in, bottom half of the table, really desperate for points. 1 point is not that bad against Liverpool, considering that we beat Arsenal in the last Premier League fixture. But I thought we were the better team, as you can see. At the end of the game, I thought we deserved 3 points. Unfortunately, it was not to be. But good to see Emre Çolak have a good game. He's kind of been, you know, he's not been hot and cold. He's actually been consistently average throughout the entire season so far. And yeah, I'm not too surprised at how he went. But going into the international break, it was not bad. A win against Arsenal and a draw against Liverpool, more than what you could ask for, if we're being completely honest with ourselves. But during the international break, we got some really, really bad news. Lucas Perez with Spain injured himself, and he is now out for 2 months, which is just, I mean, we've had such bad luck since going into the Premier League with injuries, and it does not fault, and it does not waver, I guess, through the international break. The injuries don't stop for anyone, and going into this game against Manchester United, Lucas Perez would have been a player that I think I would have played ahead of Danny Ings. Unfortunately, we did not have that option, and travelling to Old Trafford is never easy. Mkhitaryan with a fantastic finish. I mean, if you go back and watch it, where he is, he's just inside the penalty box, and he finds just the perfect placement, top left corner. No worries for Henrik Mkhitaryan. And again, it wasn't the first 10 minutes, but we concede first and we're playing off the back foot. Danny Ings luckily gets a pretty, I mean, I would say De Gea should be saving that. That's a huge mistake from De Gea, but maybe it's just a bit too much power from a bit too close of a range for De Gea, and he just lets it in the back of the net. And that brings us back with Danny Ings, who I said I'd prefer to play Lucas Perez in a game like this, but Danny Ings showing his worth. I don't think Perez is the better striker, but I think I would have preferred him in this game. But of course, just a few minutes later, again, something that seems to be just getting into our game. As soon as we score, we concede. We just, I don't know, take the foot off the gas. I'm not sure what not sure what we're doing, not sure how to rectify that. The 2 things that I really want to get out of our game is conceding the first 10 minutes and conceding as soon as we score. Really, really ridiculous, and we're down 2-1 for the 3rd time in this video. This exact same thing happening, where we bring it back and then go down 2-1. And unfortunately, in this scenario, Manchester United were not looking to take the foot off the gas. They were not looking to give us an opportunity to get back into the game. And they score a 3rd one through Angel Correa. And he just stands up and just says to the United fans, yeah, I just did that. And I'm not even sure why they've signed him. I mean, again, Manchester United like signing a lot of strikers in Career Mode, but he does very, very well off of Lukaku's run and assist as well. And Manchester United find themselves 3-1 up at home in a very comfortable position. And again, they did not really take the foot off the gas. I think this was one of the toughest games we played. I think this was probably the best performance. And, it's not surprising. Manchester United this season, I think, have won every single game. And I don't think I'm wrong about that. I think they have won every single game up until this point, which is really, really, I mean, we're 13 or so Premier League games in, so really, really a quality team they're showing to be. And, I mean, if you're winning every single game, then obviously you're doing something right. Now, we do bring one back. It's a little bit too late, if we're being completely honest. It's unfortunate that we were trying so hard, we pushed so hard, and there was opportunities all throughout the 80th minute to 80th to 90th minute. Unfortunately, we only get the second goal in the 90th minute. Didn't have time to really get the ball back. United kicked off and it was full time. And unfortunately for us, it's a 3-2 loss against Manchester United. Really, really unfortunate. But probably, like I was saying with the Arsenal game, I'd probably say United is the more difficult fixture. And again, they've won every single game. They're doing something right, and we were not the team to take points off them. It just wasn't happening for us. With the form that we're in the Premier League especially, it was just not happening. We were never getting points there against Manchester United, and we just have to shift our focus now against Spartak Moscow. Now, we're in a great position in the Champions League. We're doing really, really well. We're in second position, so we want to keep this going. We're on points, on par with the points. I should say, we're tied with the Real Madrid, not on par. We're tied with Real Madrid on points. So we're looking really, really good, and we want to keep that form going. And we do keep it going through Alioshki. It was a very tough game here in Russia. It was just really difficult. Really, really difficult. KG, I mean, if I actually went and played a soccer game, or football game, sorry, in Russia, this game is exactly how I'd expect it to be. Nighttime, snowy, and really, really difficult to get anything from it. But at the end of the day, as KG as the game was, it's 3 points in the Champions League, and again, that has put us in a really good position to qualify for the knockout stages. And overall, the Champions League has been an absolute delight to play in. Not exactly sure what's been different between the Premier League and the Champions League, but we have pulled a little bit of a Leicester. If you remember, Leicester season last season in the Premier League was struggling. In the Champions League, they were actually really, really good, and I feel like maybe we're going through something a little bit similar with the Premier League and the Champions League. As we end today's episode, Arsenal still without a win in the Premier League, which is crazy. And there it is. Yes, Manchester United, 12 out of 12 wins in the league, which is absolutely crazy. 30 goals scored, 7 goals conceded. That is pretty much what City's doing in real life right now. United are going a little bit of a tear, and it's really ridiculous, to be honest with you. Manchester City have bounced back a little bit. They seem to be on the up at the moment. Not like Arsenal, like I was mentioning before. We sit in 14th position. 4 wins, 2 draws, and 6 losses from our 12 games. 22 goals scored, 21 conceded. And honestly, as much of a struggle as it has been in the Premier League, it's also been quite an enjoyable challenge trying to get this team to work. Unfortunately, though, the injury to Lucas Perez will set us back quite a bit, and the Premier League is looking very, very difficult. In terms of the Champions League, however, it's looking a little bit more promising. Real Madrid, I was wrong, sorry, we're not tied on points. They're on 12 points, we are on 10, and Marseille on 7, and we play Marseille in the next episode with our final Champions League game, which is going to be huge. If we lose that game by more than 1 goal, we are out of the Champions League and we'll be dropping down to the Europa League. If we can hold on to a draw or even pick up a win, then we will be qualifying most likely second. I don't see Real Madrid dropping any points to Moscow, who have no points in the groups at the moment. And hopefully we'll be making it to the final 16 in the Champions League, guys. That'll be an absolute beautiful experience. To be in the knockout stages of the Champions League will be absolutely amazing, and I hope we get an opportunity to be part of it. In terms of the Billy Bremner award table, this is what it looks like at the moment, with Saiz at the top of the table, 17 points for himself. Danny Ings is right behind him on 16 points, with Ronaldo Vieira trying to keep the other two honest and trying to show that he's still in the race, 12 points for him. But that is the end of today's episode, guys. If you did enjoy, do leave a like on the video. I hope you did enjoy today's video. I hope you had a good day. I will see you guys in the next one very soon. Keep it real.